What's up, guys? Welcome back to another lesson in 2.3. Hopefully, this can be the last lesson. I know. In structures. So, we're going to talk about copying in this lesson. We're going to talk about the self keyword and we're going to talk about variable properties. All right, so go ahead and get a new playground started and we're going to get right to it. Okay, so copying. So, just so you know, when you create a struct, the values are copied. So, let's do this. So, we'll say struct and we'll say car. Okay. Actually, no, we'll say size. Just do something simple. All right. So we'll say var height and we'll say var width. If I can spell is int. All right. So let's create an instance of size. So let's say var size. We'll do 400 by 250. Okay, 400 by 250, or you can put any number you want to. And then we'll say var second size equals first size. All right. And then we'll say first size dot height. Now we want it to equal, let's say 450. All right, now let's print this. Let's see what we get. So we'll say print first size dot height, and then we'll say print second size dot height. See what we get. All right, so we printed the first size dot height first because we changed it down there. So we changed it to 450, but you notice how our second size, that value didn't change. That stayed at the first size's original value, and that's because that each instance, it's its own copy. So when we did var second size equals first size, that was a copy of first size. So it had no effect on it once we changed first size's height to 450. All right, so that's how that is displayed, and you can see that with your own too, hopefully. And if not, just practice it some more and read up on it and you'll understand it. But just know that, the values for structs are copied. They're their own separate entity. All right, cool. Next, we're going to talk about the self keyword. All right, so we've been using the self keyword quite often, and so we'll do an example. We'll say struct and we'll say car, and we'll just say var color equals string. And then we'll do a little something like this. We'll say var description. It's going to be a string. And do a little computer property. And we'll say return. This is a color. And it is type. All right, so this is what we're going to do. So now we're going to call an instance of this. So we'll just say let first car equals car. Color, and we'll say let's say blue. Let's say royal blue. Royal blue, and it's tight. All right. So let's say first car, and we're gonna call description. First car dot description, and we'll see. Alright, so over here in our right panel, you can see that it says this is a royal blue colored car and it is tight. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna minimize that again. Now anyway, the point is, I didn't even have to do all that. But anyways, the point is that the self keyword, right? So self refers to the current instance of the object. Alright, so Swift is really smart enough to know, in this case, that the self.color is obviously referring to the property here. All right, so we don't even have to use the self keyword. So this is completely optional, so we can delete that, and you won't receive any type of error or anything or warning, as you can see. So we deleted the self.keyword. So in situations like that, you don't have to use the self keyword. Totally optional. But when you do have to use it is when you have something like this. So we're gonna bring back up the temperature struct for this one. So we'll say struct temperature, and we'll say var Celsius is a double, and we're going to initialize it. So we're going to say init, and we'll say Celsius is our parameter, and it's going to be our type double. Alright, so this is where you have to use the self keyword. So if the parameter is the same name as the property, this is where you have to use the self keyword to help differentiate, which is which. So here we go. So you know how we've been saying like self dot Celsius equals Celsius, right? So we've been doing that, and so now we don't have any errors, of course. But anyway, so this version of self, or Celsius, obviously is referring to the temperature's instance of it. So it's referring to the temperature's property Celsius. One, because it's highlighted green and you know it, and obviously it also has the self in front of it. But if you were to hit the command button and you hold down the command and you click on it, you can say jump to definition and it'll go right to it. So Celsius. Then you do the same thing for this one. Jump to definition and it's right there. So this is the parameter, right? And this is the property. Alright, got it, cool. So that's where you have to use the self keyword. Alright, next things next is variable properties. Alright, so I'll go back up here. You know what, we'll do this. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I get rid of this. And so for the car situation, right? So say if we had var make, will be a string, var year will be an int, and then we'll go var top speed, and this will be an int as well. Okay, so I typed the text to a girl I used to see. All right, anyways. So we got this struct car, var color, make, year, top speed. All right, now let's create an instance of it. So we'll say var first car equals car. Do our parentheses, and we'll make up some stuff. So we'll just say Chevy. Oh, my bad. Colors first. So we'll say green. The make is a string as well, and we'll say Chevy, and then year was a 2018. We'll say top speed, 120, and then we can say var second car equals car, actually equals first car. So now everything is just like first car. So we created another copy of first car, right? Now say, we want to go ahead and change the make of second car to something different. So we can say second car dot make equals win the Super Bowl and drive off in a Hyundai. There we go. Cool. So this is a Hyundai. And we can print these. So print second car dot make. It's a Hyundai. And then we can print first car dot make. And we obviously still know it's a Chevy. That didn't change. All right, so the important part here is that when you're creating variables, properties, within your structure, it's probably good to keep them as variables. And that's because in our case down here, when we just made second car equal first car, that wouldn't have been possible if we, made let constants, out of, like, say for instance, like the make is probably going to stay the same, right? You can't change the make of a car. So we could have did, a let there, and we could have done a let in the year. The year won't change, but the top speed could change if you customize and you put a new engine or something in it, right? And the color can change because you can repaint it. But the thing is, though, is that if we did that up there, then we would have to call second car with a member-wise initializer like we did first car. So instead of going through all that mess again, we can just, we equaled it, we made it equal to first car and we just changed the make of it. So it was easier, doing that than doing another member-wise initializer and going through the whole four-step process again if everything else is the same except for one or two things. And if you don't want, obviously, if you don't want the first car variables to change or their properties to change, you can obviously change it to a let constant if you wanted to. And of course, then at that point, you won't be able to modify it anymore. It will become immutable. So yeah, but there you go. That is copying self and variable properties for this lesson. That wraps up lesson 2.3. It's been a long one, guys. I know. Give yourself a pat on the back if you made it this far and watching my silly self. But thank you for joining me. I wanted to give you guys something special. So, I miss home. Shout out to H-Town. But growing up, I remember listening to like 97 on the box, Mad Hatter and, Jimbo. And there used to be a lady on there named Shelly Wade. When I was a kid, they used to have this segment on the show called Roll Call, and they would have people call up, different listeners call up to, call and freestyle, on the radio live, and their chance to try to win some concert tickets or whatever the prize may have been that day. And so I'm going to spit a little freestyle. Actually, it's not a freestyle. It's more like a ski style. I thought about this one. So I'm going to go ahead and spit something for you guys and, leave out on a high note. So it used to go like this. What's up, y'all? What you got to say? Who's on the mic? Who got a screw today? Well, my name is Ski, and I like to code on my ground till I reside in that Austin abode. The Houston Texans is my team. You can tell by my clothes. Deshaun Watson is the best. We will win the Super Bowl. That sounds cool, and that may be, but where you calling from? Was Yo said G. Man, I'm out that channel view where all the Eastside legends grew. We on the grind to get that bag till we stack our revenue. Channel views in the house. Channel views in the house. Channel views in the house. Channel views in the house with the roll call. Alright, so thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for more of the Ski Channel. Swift coding for everyone. This is St. R. Edwards. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Y'all take care.